I mean, not all the time, but certain things I go through. Like, I know for what I'm doing for today, this is really old paper, so it's real brittle. Now, when you do the sewing tissue, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, this is a recording of a live stream. Welcome. If you get tired of our chat, just fast forward through. We're on Ustream.tv if you want to join us one day. We'd love to have you. And my channel on Ustream is Debbie Epps, just like it is here on YouTube. All right. So that's pretty. This is, like I said, this is for the piece of where I'm going to do blue. You know, I'm not sure it was that red. So I think I'm going to add some gold to this. Now, you could pick this up here, but I'm not going to today. I'm just going to add some more paint. And move on. And blue doesn't have to be exactly like Java, but I was just going to try to keep it fairly consistent. All right, and I'm going to take the other end of this piece of pattern paper. Yeah, they can mute me. They can skip forward, especially if you get the idea. You know, depends what you're... Today I'm just jelly printing for a project in the future. One of the ladies asked me, do I always jelly print with an end project in mind? No. A lot of times I do when I know that I need certain colors in my stash. Or low. Okay, that one's a lot lighter. I'm sure it won't show up, but it is definitely metallic. Okay, let's take a piece of paper. I'm just going to take a piece of matte paper. I may or may not get much off on that. I have a hard time getting a ghost print. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm going to take it as an okay thing. I watched Anne-Marie Ritterhoff lately until I'm falling asleep and nodding off, but usually I turn my audiobook on. Well, that's not bad. That would actually make kind of a cool piece for a lighthouse because a lot of them are a reddish color and you can still see the parts of the map in the background. So I'll put that aside. And that's usually what I do with my jelly printed pieces. Now I will tell you another thing that I like to do is I like to brayer in color families because I will use the brayer sheets too. So let's add something to these old napkins. They were from a project that were left over and they're just a little too yellow for my taste. So I think I'm going to take and put like a brown on top of them. This is burnt sienna. This is the paint. I just got it too, so I must have sat on the shelf in the warehouse because I've not had the problem, but it's lumpy like it's old, See how it's coming out? Really clumpy. That came up in my pour. I thought I had that mixed. You can see how it's clumpy like it's old, and it's not that old, which is really unusual. But you can see how this is getting to be actually a really pretty piece if I add some gold and some other colors on here. Now I'm going to take this is kind of like a burlap, and I think I'll do some circles. Get that napkin, and then on this one I'm going to pull up and get the circles. I don't usually use the very edge where it's white as often. Now, if your stencil has a lot of holes in it, you can use a clean brayer and brayer it to put a little more pressure. Be careful with the tissue, because it will tear easily. And when you lift, you just want to lift up with even pressure all the way. See, I think that's a little more interesting. I think it probably might still need another layer just to mute. I don't know. In a small piece, it might be just fine. And also we could, when I use it, yeah, I'm creating my own paper. Exactly right, K Moore. I'm creating my own prints. Okay, there's that. And then I'm going to take this, and actually I think I'm going to put this on a piece of ugly scrapbook paper, because that will cover most of it. And then we can maybe add some cream on top of it, or a metallic. Yeah, I have a bigger plate. I just didn't get it out today. I have a 12 by 14 plate. And you know how you get a pad of paper and you just don't like it? I jelly print over the old scrapbook paper. See, like that, I probably am just going to leave just like it is. I don't care that the bees are showing in the background, because if I make this into a piece of fur or part of an ear, I'm going to come back over it anyways with the when I paint with the Faber-Castell pens, the way I do it. Or if you put clear gesso and you came back over with your colored pencils, is another option that you could use. I know Kenny was talking about making homemade clear gesso. You can get clear gesso, and that would be a reason why you might use clear gesso. You know how Dee Dee puts a wash of craft paint so she get some tooth? Yeah, they were bees that I just covered up, Suzanne. It was an old piece of scrapbook paper with bees that I didn't like. But I like the fact that the bees are still there in the background. No, I don't have more. It's old. I don't I don't intentionally save stuff. I don't hoard stuff a lot. Let's see. Let's do another color. Maybe a creamy. And I'm sticking to the browns because I'm looking for the dog. So I'm sorry, it's going to be a fairly monotonous palette. And then I'm going to throw a little champagne metallic in there. Like I said, I'm trying to get variety of colors in browns, which I don't really use a whole lot. Okay, see now we need another metallic in here, and then that will be really pretty. And I think I'm going to use this tree stencil. And I actually think I'm going to use just a clean napkin. On this one. Because some of this I want to put over like news, like dictionary print, so that the white parts go clear. So that would be an interesting pattern on a collage. And like I said, if I put something under it like map paper or dictionary print, then that will show through and I can layer them. Okay. Now, there's still quite a bit of paint on here in places, so I'm going to put some of this I guess part of the reason why I don't hoard is I have had, see, I like that, and that's got some sparkle to it. Needs another layer. Maybe we'll do a layer of gold. We're going to put this. This is one of my absolute favorite stencils. This tree stencil, because it's really versatile. I'm just going to take cream cardstock and put that on the cream cardstock. What are you talking about costing $1,500? Are you talking about like machines that cut stencils? Was that stencil cut from gold? Maybe it's a machine that... So that I like just like it is. And again, you have to remember, I'm probably only looking at a piece like this. I'm not looking at it as its entirety. However, it would be a cool piece to, if you collage something on top of it, it would be like trees in the background. So this one I would use. A Prima stencil. Ooh, Lord. They are proud of themselves, aren't they? The other thing we might do is we might take a couple of the brown leftover magicals and put them in a little spray and add them to the top of something. All right, so let's do the gold. I have different golds, so I'm going to use Venetian gold. I think. This is Dazzling Metallics. Now, in my opinion, the Dazzling Metallics are a little on the thin side. So I often add a little bit of an opaque paint to them. So this is Marigold that I blend with the metallic. It still will have a metallic shimmer. Depends what you're trying to do too with them. But they are a little thinner paint. Should have put that yellow down there. Okay, and let's do the giraffe type print. And kind of a honeycomb pattern. Let's put it on this. Actually, I'm going to turn that around. Now, because I've got so many layers of paint on this napkin, it's not going to have a lot of parts that go translucent. Okay, so that one I'm going to call done. I've got some golds with some rust and some browns. You can still see some of that pink popping through here and there. Okay. And I think I'm going to add this to a piece of brown cardstock. Hopefully that gold will shimmer on that. Is it bootleg stencils maybe? Out of print? Somebody's crazy? Okay, that's pretty. It's real subtle. But I like the fact that it's super subtle. It just gave some shimmer to that brown. It left a pattern that when that dries, we'll pick up that pattern. All right, I'm going to use a little Georgia clay. Not a lot. And I'm going to go back to some copper. And some gold. Make my own metallic here. And don't be afraid to add colors to your metallics. You get really cool. This will end up being kind of a rose gold color, probably. All right, I'm gonna oh, that tore. Well, I was going to tear it out anyway, so. This paper's really old. Try not to hit my jelly plate. But get that piece. So this will be a pretty piece. You can still see the map in the background. In a collage, that's real pretty. This would be pretty on the rooster. And if we add a pattern on top of it with the tissue. Okay, so let's spread that paint just a little bit more. I think I'm actually going to go with the tree stencil again. and a brown piece, I think a brown piece of cardstock. Yeah, because CB, I don't know if you were here, but on this pour, I'm going to do a rooster in like red and gold with the blue and the teal and the feathers. Okay. I feel like that is not getting through. Oh, that's pretty. Again, that could be a pretty background piece for something else. But it'd also be really cool in the rooster. Alright, and I'm gonna take and see if I can get any more color off before I pick up the stencil. I don't think so. No. Okay, that's very dry. So we're going to do the crusty bits technique. So we want to pick this up. I'm thinking just tight and buff, or do we want teal? What about a tight and buff with a shot of teal? Yeah, reminds me of, or if there were sunset. Some of these paints are getting down to the bottom because I've been using them in the pours. But I'm actually trying to get rid of some of my older paints, which I think will be a good thing. I think that's one thing about doing the pours. Okay, I want to be able to see the original. I need to get enough of that off there to kind of see the original. I think that's dry enough. And I'm going to get a map paper because it's thin. And I'm going to let that sit on there because what I'm wanting that wet paint to do is pick up the dry paint. I'm going to tear this out and we're going to stencil on it. We're going to add a layer on this. In fact, I think I'll cut it in half so it's more manageable since we're using that smaller plate. And we'll add some stencil work on top. Actually, I kind of like this one the way it is. But we'll add some stencil work to this. Oh yeah, that's working. So that's real pretty. You can see the blue in the background with the Titan buff. And the blue's not real prominent. But again, on the rooster, a building. Yeah, I don't want to use black today, Suzanne, because I'm trying to do stuff for the puppy color. So wasn't going to get out black today. It's more about tone on tone. All right, let's go to some yellow. And I think I'm going to take that down with just a little bit of cream, which will also help make it more opaque, because that is really bright. Let's add some raw sienna. And I think I'm going to leave it kind of heavy. I may use some of this on the dog. All right. Let's do sorry, stuff is falling as the stencils stick together. Get rid of that. This is good giraffe colors. So I'll do some giraffe skin. And then I'll just do the number letter stencil back there. And I'm going to put it on this kind of brown and see if it doesn't help tone it down. Hi, Maggie. We are jelly printing in yellows and golds so that we have pieces for a rooster and the dog that I started. Well, I like the ombre effect. This, you can't tell what it was. I can get another print off of that if I use thinner paper. I'm going to use this side because it's got the yellows. No, let's use the side with the white. It is time to clean all my stencils and brayers too. With Murphy's oil. See, that's good because you can see a little of the map in the background. Yeah. No, on the collage. For the Cocker Spaniel collage. I'll tell you, the poor stuff is in my way. And so is these. I keep moving these around. Okay, that's pretty. Let's pick that up on matte paper. Unless we want it to dry and pick it up with a solid. No, actually, let's pick it up with a napkin. Just a white napkin. Because that would be good. That's a good print if to let the background show, like dictionary paper. This feels like it's 2 layers of napkin. It is. Okay. So that'll be really pretty on the dog. And again, the white parts will go clear so you'd see the text. Yeah, I make my own stencils, Kmore. I cut them on my silhouette. Now I'm going to let that dry and pick it up. Let's pick it up with some brown. This is rich espresso. I'm going to put a little bit of the burnt umber, raw umber. I have a silhouette, and I cut them using dividers for your binder. That's a lot of paint. Too much for a cleanup print. But what we'll do is we'll add another layer of stencil to this. But it needs to be something small enough that's going to show through this. So let's go to the tree, because I think that will show through the graph part. The little triangles. And again, I'm going to go just to a plain napkin so that I have some brown with white spots. I'll show you what I cut them, Kmore, in just a minute. I'll grab it. I have a package I just saw. I don't sell them or anything because it's just they're not, I make them with files I've bought, so I don't have off of this online stencil store, the files. So that'll be pretty. That's real coppery, or shimmery, not coppery. It's alright, we'll let that dry and then we'll use Titan Buff to pick it up. This is what I cut my stencils out of. Index dividers. I get them at the Dollar Tree, and I get 8 for $1. So I am limited to size. They can't be larger than 8 by 10. And so a lot of the patterns that are square are more like a 6 by 6. The tree is a crafter's workshop. Okay. I think this is, it's getting dry. It doesn't take long in this humidity. And I'll just use some Titan Buff to pick it up. Because it's going to have that gold and this yellow color underneath, and then layers of the brown, and then the cream. Yeah, it was on Ustream. It won't work to my Facebook. It was on Twitter and it was on Ustream. I was supposed to be paying bills today and going to the grocery store, but my school's bank had a problem, so we're not getting our checks till tomorrow now. All right, so I want to pull enough of this off that I can sort of see the tree stencil. And you're not going to see the background on this one so much, so I'm just going to use a piece of white copy paper. Now, I jelly print on white copy paper for collage. I don't want to use this as a background. I want to cut it up, tear it up, and use it for collage. And I like the thinner paper for when I'm collaging, because you're laying so many layers of paper. Oh, I'm sorry, Button. It does that to me sometimes too. Okay, May. Thanks for hanging out, and now you know what jelly plating is. And it's Gelli. Okay, it went kind of greenish, but it's really interesting colors. I think for the dog it'll work out really good because it's got it's got that Titan buff, and it's got some variation in hue. Yeah, tell my creditors that. It's supposed to be in the bank by tomorrow. Yeah, kind of reminded me of camo. Alright, so I'm going to take this and cut this in half because I like the brayer. I kind of like the ombre effect. So if we just add a pattern on top of here, we have like 3 of these. I think that it'll be good. I think the first one, I think I'll add this raw umber and the rich espresso. I liked that combination. Gave a little sparkle to the brown. I'm not doing a real thick layer because I'm really just trying to get I'm going to do this kind of Moroccan pattern, and then I think I'll do the circles at the top. And again, I'm not worried about like using this as one piece of paper. It will probably get cut up. Oh, I like this right here. This I like, but not for the project that we're this might be good for the rooster though. And you can't probably see it, but it's just sparkly. There's just a really nice glittery shimmer from that brown. All right. And I'm not going to worry about what was on there. I may do the same thing on this one. Same color combination. Just different stencils. Again, I'm not doing a real thick layer of paint. Alright, I'm gonna do a chevron, punchinella on the side, and the giraffe style print. Alright, now the punchinella, I had little tiny holes, so I really have to kind of work the paper. To get a good print of those holes. But if I don't get all of it, I don't stress it, you know. It's just, see, like this didn't give me complete contact, but I like it. And most likely, these two would not get used together. They would get used separately. But this would be like a fabulous building. If you were doing a jelly print of a city, that would make a great building. Yeah, that's one of my favorite stencils. Okay, let's put some cream on here and pick, there's quite a bit of pattern. Actually, I think I'm going to put in a turquoise layer. What we'll do is I'll take a napkin and pick up the turquoise, and we'll use that for the rooster because I know I need, well, I don't need turquoise because I can tell you that is not low in my stash. But I do like this turquoise and brown together. I'm going to use that Moroccan one again, but I'm going to put it up here. And this works good. And we'll do a couple circles. And we'll get a napkin. I think this is 2 layers again, but it'll separate when I get it on the jelly print. Pull that can be used again. And that even picked up some of that brown, so it has this really cool, like that's got circles on it that you may not be able to see from the punchinella. I'm going to add down here and pick up a little bit of that turquoise I never picked up. I'm just trying to get any places that didn't get turquoise picked up. Kind of like that print that we're building. There with the turquoise and the gold. In fact, that may just need a pop of gold on it to be done. Okay, we're going to let that dry. And we'll pick it up with just plain paper. We're going to use the Titan Buff. This piece that I have, I ordered something on Etsy and it came in with my order, but I know you can buy punchinella waste on Etsy. There are people that sell it in pieces. It comes in different widths and different sizes. If you just look and search punchinella waste. Yeah, I really like this Moroccan pattern. And I have another stencil that I didn't pull for today. That's Moroccan. That's a bigger. And I have this one. So I have like 3 or 4 different Moroccan ones that I like to use together. But when I do projects, they mix. It's like the same I have a feeling when I'm done brayering this over here, I'm going to pull this brayer paper out. Because I think I'm going to like just trying to get a light coat of the Titan Buff. Yeah, this one will be pulled. This one I'm just going to put straight on because I'm doing a cleanup print, or what some people, Paula calls crusty bits, where you let the layers dry. Alright, so let's take this and cut this in half. And we'll add something to that. I think I'm going to add some golds next. Like I said, it was on Etsy. Bye, Juju. I can't wait to see the flamingo. Ooh, that one came out really good. Again, it's kind of, the brown went a little green with the Titan Buff, and there's some pieces here that didn't pick up. Let's see if we can pick them up on here. I got a little bit of it. This one's done. Be good for the rooster. Alright, let's do a gold. Just put a little bit of that. And I'm going to do some of the Reeves. And little splendid gold from Dazzling Metallics. Should get a pretty golden color. Okay. Let's do the letters. We'll use the Moroccan one again because it's done well. There's a little Moroccan on this one. Put that on there. If we don't like it, we can always add something to it. I like it down here. Not so sure about here. It needs a little pop of turquoise, I think, is what it needs. Let's add some more of that gold here. And then I'm going to take and add some gold in places here. And I'm just getting little bits here and there. Alright, and then just put this on a tissue. It might just give a little pop of metallic on something. It's not going to show up very well for you guys on the screen. probably. Oh, that tissue started to tear. Okay, like I said, it's not going to show up on the screen for you, but in the right place it will give me a little pop of gold shimmer. All right, let me get out a darker turquoise. And we're going to add some dark, because this will work for the rooster, because we need some turquoise and some blue for the rooster. So let's put that, and then let's put a little ice blue metallic in it and see what we get. And I'm not going to do a whole lot of mixing. Blue kind of took over in some places. All right, we'll stick with the Moroccan. And I think I'll go with the giraffe print. I want to flip that over. I don't want to get a bunch of blue paint on the edges of my hand. Bye, CB. See you later. Yeah, it's a strong blue, but I need that on that rooster. I'll need that cobalt blue, and it's a metallic, so it'll add some shimmer. So that's pretty. See, it's turquoise in some areas and more blue in others. Let me, I know I can get some more out here and there on this page. And I'm just adding some here and there. Wherever I think I can get out a little more paint. And I'll probably leave that one as is. You know, little parts of it I really like. Alright. Let's let that dry. And then I'm going to put a I think I want to put a green behind it. Because that'll be good on the and I'll probably just pick it up on a piece of white paper. And I think I'm going to throw in a little buttercream. So I'll get a pale green in places, I think. Got a lot of paint. Way more paint than I can do a pickup with. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a stencil on there. I'm just going to go with the tree stencil because it's fast. And I'm going to take a napkin and pick up paint with the napkin. That'll get up a lot of the green. And then I can brayer it again. Okay. So that's pretty. It's shimmery. And again, the white places will go clear. Take that off. I'm going to put this paper on there because I think that's, if I leave it sit, I think I'll get some of this paint off this stencil. Okay. I'm going to take this out and I'm just going to leave, I may leave that hole because I don't know what I'm going to use it for. Yeah, sometimes I like adding a solid to a metallic because you just get a really, like, copper with green can be pretty, so is a little bit of purple with the copper. Oh, this cleaned my plate really well. See, that's a good print. Like a turtle, but this will make a good feather for the rooster. It's got that shimmer. It's got some good pattern. I tried to pick stencils that had small prints today. Okay. Need to add something to this. I'm thinking maybe a pop of cream. Probably way too much cream, but I'll be able to get a second print this way. All right. Use the giraffe. And then I think I'm going to use the circles. Not my favorite print, but cut up, you know, on a rabbit. These white dots you can add watercolor to because they're chalky, or you can like they make really good. These dots do really well. In fact, let's do I'm gonna pull this off real quick. And I'm going to brayer it out. Let's see if I can get another cream. And I'm going to get some dictionary paper. I'm going to add a little more cream to that just to make it a little heavier. I'm going to put the dots all the way on. And I'll put the giraffe because I actually think that will be good for that purpose too. And let me get some newsprint, or dictionary print, I mean. Okay. I'm gonna wire this on the back. May have been too dry. No, I got it. You can't see it on camera, but it's there. You can probably see it on this one better. But I used that stuff all up that I had. It was really good on the hairs. So that's dry as a bone. So let's add a color. Well, I know we need the turquoise stuff for the bird. And I think I'll add just a hint of that green. And I'm going to add a little purple. Oh, that was just the clear gunk. There we go. I'm going to try to do a cleanup. This is kind of translucent. So we'll see what we get. And we're just going to do white paper. Actually, I'm going to do matte paper. And then I'm probably about done jelly printing for the day because I'm running out of room. Let me start sticking paints back here. Where they go. It might be time to work on something else. I'm trying to let that really attach to that paper, and it'll clean my plate. Let me throw these paints back where they belong and clear off the table. I'm just going to throw that away. Oh, that turned out pretty. That'll be pretty on the rooster. Okay, plate's clean enough. Just gonna take this sprayer paper and see if I can't pull this a little bit more. No, I'm not putting magicals on my plate. They stain it. I have magicals and we'll play with them through a stencil. Like make a spray or something. But they're permanent, so they'll stain your plate. So, let's get rid of that. What we can do is, we've got this. We have that. I want these bees. We cut. I don't need the brayer. I'm trying to get stuff put away. Alright, so there's that. The bees. The paper that there's a Moroccan stencil. There's I'm just going to lay several stencils out on top of this conglomeration. Okay. Ah. Actually, I didn't use this stencil much today. I don't know how this paper here will take it. It's not very absorbent. All right. This mini mister already has sepia in it. And that's what's in here is sepia. I do want to use this stuff up before it dries up. There's no point in wasting it. And this is copper brown. Okay. So I want to mix those two together. So that was sepia and copper brown in a mini mister. And I'm just going to use it up. Now it would stay in this mini mister. Okay. So that's empty basically. And let's blot with the tissue. We have nothing to lose. Doesn't really show up much on this tissue. Let's try it on some clean tissue. Looks like caca. But we're not done. We'll add some more to it. Okay. So we'll let that go, and now let's pull. Oh! See, one of them just spilled on a bunch of paper. Fell over. Let's soak up that goodness there. I'm just going to soak it up on a napkin. And there was a piece of map paper that it fell on. So really no harm, no foul. It got on a couple pieces of paper. Just a second. Let me get it in the... I'll get it in the camera for you. When this tissue dries, I can jelly print on it. Let me wipe up the rest of the spill with the tissue and the sewing tissue. I don't know which color it was. I think it was the red hot poker orange, but I know we need that color for the... Okay, let's get the mini mister open. I told you those were going to spill. That they kept falling over. Let's put what's left. I'm going to add just a little bit of water. So that's the red hot poker orange. And then we have the Hogwarts orange, which is super bright. Okay. Let me get rid of those. Look at that. There's a really pretty gold ring right there. Okay. When this dries, this will be interesting. And there's some of this color on the tissue too. But like I said, I'll let that dry and I'll use it. It got on this napkin and I'll let that dry and I'll use it. May add some teal to it later when it's not so wet. I'm going to let it sit over here to dry. This piece of white paper, got it. I didn't waste much of it, I'll tell you that. Let me get a baby wipe and wipe up what's over there though. Because it does stain the table. All right, and we're going to add to that. Let's just go for it. And this is the crimson red. Well, that's not even all going to fit in there. Okay. This will be strong color. I'll change the papers out after this one, maybe. Well, or actually, maybe we'll use the teal. I'm trying to use up all the spray. Okay, let's take the tissue and blot some of that excess. That'll give us some pretty texture on that. Let's take a paper napkin and blot in a few places. Trying to get the stencil pattern a little bit. So we'll let that dry. All right, let's heat gun some of this. Now I will tell you, it does, when you get it too wet, it wants to go under the stencil. But it's not too bad. I can move the stencils and tell. But I'm just playing. I gotta be careful or I'll warp my stencils. Alright, let's add the rest of that crimson red. Into this sprayer. And still shimmer should give us a pretty color. And that leaves me 4 teals. Let's lay a paper on top and a different stencil. We'll let that below it dry a little bit. Okay. It works better if you mist it and then take it off and don't saturate it as much. Okay, and I'm going to move that paper. I'm going to lay that napkin down and I'm going to flip that stencil over on that napkin. That's pretty. And I think I'll add this bit of red. Maybe I'll move some of these stencils. So you can see. Again, I'll let this dry and I'll probably jelly print on it, like in a turquoise. This I'll leave just like it is. All right, I'm going to let that one sit. I'll let the tree stay. Get rid of that. I think I'll take the music paper out and put that there. And I think I'll take the bee paper out. Let this go here. I'm going to do some teals here in a minute. And maybe that. Just right here. I'll leave that there. Bee paper's not too bad. It needs a little more here, but it could be jelly printed on. That'll work. All right, let's take and get rid of these. I've lost my mini mister. Oh, there it is on the floor. It's very red, so I'm going to leave that one. It's got a little bit of red. I'm going to leave that. I have a different one. And this one has some turquoise already in it. It's more of a green. But we have greens. We can add to that. I'm just trying to get rid of all those magicals that I sprayed earlier and not that I diluted. Not sprayed, but okay. We have time travel teal. This has got more of a green in it right now, but I want to make it more teal. Like I said, I just didn't want to waste this. And it would have just dried out if it sat in these containers. Okay. That's pretty full. All right, now I'm going to take that tissue and lay that sewing tissue down and pick up some of that turquoise on top of the red. Some circles there. That'll be a pretty piece when it's dry. Can't see because it's going to go translucent. but laid down on top of something that's cream. Okay. Let's take... I like that page just the way it is. And it's sparkly. Okay. Let's pick up some of the excess. On this napkin. This reminds me of tie-dye right now. But again, in a collage, just a small piece of it could be cool and the white will go clear. I'm going to leave that paper the way it is. Let's flip. Wow, that did not show up as much. I thought the tree would show up more. But there is paint. Okay, I think I'll leave that one. I'll let it dry a little bit and let that one sit. Let's try the tree stencil. We need to put more. We need to reload our little sprayer, but that's okay. We have Ponderosa Olive. We're about out of the magical stuff. This has a really pretty gold to it. And let's add the Rusty Lantern Lime, which I think also has gold to it. That's full. Let's just spray through this tree stencil on this old map paper. And then I'm going to take this page and blot it, because you can't hurt it. So that's a pretty green, and it's shimmery, and you can still see the map. I like how parts of it went purple in here where there was blue. I like this over here. We'll just leave that. We'll take this one out. We'll use the rest of this spray. We'll add to it probably. Okay. This is steampunk something teal. Steam turbine teal. That gets rid of all the teals and greens. Alright, and then this is almost gone, I'm gonna add my last color that I have mixed, which is the black that's got like some purple in it. It's got like a bluish purple. It's not all gonna go in there. Almost. In fact, it came over the sides. Well, there's Miss Tay Tay. She has found some laundry. She might come in and visit us. Okay. We'll see. Let me put some of this paper on here. Some of this paper towel. Paper towel over here. Okay, another piece that's sort of tie-dyed, and it has that shimmer. It's picking up. Oh, look at my hands. This is a purpley green. That got pretty heavy over here. Okay, let's put all the stencils away. Okay. I kind of like this side better, maybe. Let's take those out. The only thing about the back side is it doesn't have the shimmer. But this is pretty. It doesn't look good on camera, I'm sure. But it's a purple and a green. And pieces of this are real pretty. I mean, just like a piece like that in a collage. Could be really cool. All right, let's get rid of that atlas. Let me get rid of all these little trays things. All right, move that. Cap this. Probably ought to clean off the surface with the paper towel. And I bet we pick up a lot of color from the overspray. Let me stop the recording.